Welcome to The Bottom Line Up Front, the podcast that cuts through the noise to deliver distilled insights from today's most important technical webinars, presentations, and demonstrations. Designed for federal and military IT leaders, each episode breaks down complex technologies into mission-ready takeaways so you get the key points fast. Whether it's cybersecurity, cloud architecture, or emerging defense technologies, we highlight what matters most and how trusted integrators like ATP Gov can help implement and operationalize these solutions across your agency or command. No fluff, no filler, just the bottom line up front. In today's special episode, Jacqueline Biggio joins us from Menlo Security to present a topic that sits at the intersection of browser security, AI autonomy, and the future threat landscape. Her presentation focuses on how AI agents are evolving from copilots into independent actors, conducting research, accessing web content, and making decisions at machine speed, and what all that means for enterprise and government security. She'll walk through how isolation-based browser security fundamentally changes the risk equation for both humans and AI agents, preventing threats before they execute, protecting sensitive data without slowing the mission, and enforcing governance across a workforce that now includes thousands of non-human users. So if you're responsible for mission assurance, Zero Trust execution, or CMMC compliance, this episode is about what's coming next and how to stay ahead of it. And with that, let's welcome Jacqueline to the bottom line up front.
I'm so glad we have the opportunity to be on the podcast today. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, Menlo's really excited to talk about humans versus agentic AI. In general, I know you're familiar with what Menlo does, right? Truly being a browser security platform for the end user customer, and our approach being very unique where you as the end user, when you're going out to the web, could be going to check email, application, we're there and we're putting you into isolation. Well, today, what I wanted to talk about more is who the next billion users are going to be. And it turns out it's actually going to be agentic AI. That's going to be the next billion users. Statistics right now are showing, this is according to Google, 98% of the attacks originate from internet usage, and 80% of those are targeted at the browser. So Menlo's approach to isolation and really protecting you as an end user when you're going out to the web through the browser is so relevant, 98%. That's a huge percentage. And if we're looking at 2027, the projections are that 15% of all enterprise work will be autonomous. So AI agents are moving from co-pilots to independent actors browsing transactions and making decisions 24/7. This is what they'll do, right? That's what an agent does, is it goes out and it does exactly what you tell it to do. So that's going to basically have a paradigm shift. There's that attack surface that exists today is going to be even more exponential than what it was because these agents are out there just basically following instruction. There's no intuition there. There's no thinking. It's just following that command. And there's risk. Especially if, let's just say, you're asking that agent to go out and find thousands of documents, which it could do in a very short amount of time and bring it back. Their scale and their speed, it's very easy for them to bring something back into the end user's endpoint, but because of Menlo's capability of isolating everything, we're going to keep it containerized and it's not going to be an issue. And the other thing to point out is these agents are like an ultimate insider threat, right? They have a headless browser. They can download malware very easily, very blindly. They're not going to take a second to think. They're just going to do what the code told them to do. They're very gullible. They're fast and they're easily misled. So white on white text, you could be looking at a slide or a file and you're just looking at the graphics, the text that's on there that you can visibly see. But an AI agent can see even more. So if there's a hidden JavaScript in there, if there's white on white text, zero font size prompts, the human eye won't see some of that, but they will. So I kind of break it out into 4 categories. They stop threats before they execute. That's one of the things that we do, right? Humans are targeted by phishing, social engineering, evasive malware, right? Those attacks are designed to exploit the human's trust. I'm looking at this, it's got a link in it, I'm going to click on the link and boom, then you're now have a threat. But with an AI agent, the targets are a little bit different. What they're trying to do is poison the content that the agents are looking at and bring it back to the end user. And that's something that Menlo's approach can alleviate. And the other pillar is connect and control every application. Humans need secure access to the web from any device, any location, without VPN friction, the public web, and then jump from one application to another. And I want it to be seamless, whether it's by laptop or it's by phone. AI agents don't care about location. They don't care about the device. All they care about is data visibility. Can they just be able to get in through the API, void left, and then get the information that they need? Then the third pillar is protect data without blocking the work. So me as an end user, collaboration, I need to be able to do very freely. So security that blocks files and halts the workflow gets disabled and compliance fails, right? So if I'm trying to open up a file and it's sitting in a sandbox environment and it's taking me 2 minutes to look at it or 3 minutes, that is blocking work of me being efficient. And then you as the end user, you get a little bit agitated because it takes us so long to see the file. Menlo does not do things that way. With our Votero acquisition and the CDR capabilities that we have, simultaneously as that file is coming to you as the end user, it's being scrubbed clean. And the agent process is even faster, right? They're just going out, they're getting that, and the sensitive information must be protected in real time without slowing down the automation. So that is the third pillar. If you kind of compare humans versus AI working side by side through a browser, that these are things that we can help on both sides of the house. And the fourth category, I would say, is govern the entire workforce as one. You have compliance, you got CMMC out there, a lot of these rules and regulations that the government has to follow. And from an end user, you spend a ton of money educating them, making sure they know all the things they should and should not do from a cybersecurity perspective. Now, multiply that. You've got thousands of agents out there. You still have the same regulations and compliance that you must meet. And that's very rigorous. And they don't change. You're not going to train these AI agents. You're just going to go out there and do it. With Menlo's approach of being able to govern the entire workforce all at once, simultaneously, these four pillars between human and agent, Menlo's approach is the right way to be able to go out there and make sure that the customer's environment is still secure. Those agent workloads are growing faster than any human headcount, and you need a safe approach in protecting the enterprise. And you can do that 100% with Menlo's approach. They've been doing this for over a decade. They're the only ones in the market that really take isolation 100% of the time, so nothing's coming back to that endpoint.
So what's the bottom line up front? The browser is no longer just a human interface. It's now an attack vector for autonomous AI workloads. With industry data showing that nearly 98% of attacks originate from internet usage, and the vast majority targeting the browser, the expansion of AI-driven activity introduces a dramatically larger and faster attack surface. And here's the 5 key takeaways you should remember from Jacqueline's presentation. AI agents are the next insider threat, by design. AI agents don't have intuition, judgment, or skepticism. They execute instructions at scale and speed, blindly consuming web content. And that makes them highly efficient and highly exploitable. Hidden scripts, poison content, and evasive malware are far more effective against non-human actors. The browser is now the common battlefield for both humans and machines. Whether it's a civilian analyst, a warfighter, or an autonomous agent, the browser remains the primary access points to data and applications. Security controls must assume continuous web risk, not occasional exposure. Thirdly, isolation-first architecture stops threats before they execute. So instead of detecting malware after it lands, full browser isolation ensures that nothing untrusted ever reaches the endpoint, human or AI. That's a fundamental shift from traditional sandboxing and inspection models that slow operations and frustrate users. Moreover, security can't block the mission, especially when automation is involved. Federal and defense organizations can't afford controls that slow workflows, break automation, or cause teams to bypass protections. Real-time content disarm and reconstruction combined with isolation enables secure access without friction. And finally, governance and compliance must extend to AI workloads. Frameworks like Zero Trust, CMMC, and data protection mandates don't stop applying just because the user isn't human. AI agents must be governed under the same policies without retraining, exceptions, or gaps. And with that, Jacqueline, I appreciate you coming on The Bluff and sharing your presentation with us.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad to be part of your podcast today. And this is such a passionate topic that I love talking about. And I look forward to talking more. Thank you.
As a trusted federal and DoD partner, ATP Gov, along with organizations like Menlo Security, help agencies design, integrate, and operationalize isolation-based security architectures that support both human users and autonomous AI systems. ATP Gov doesn't just deploy technology, we help translate emerging capabilities into mission-ready implementations, ensuring that security accelerates outcomes rather than standing in the way. Be sure to reach out to ATP Gov today at www.atpgov.com or email info@atpgov.com or check us out on social media on LinkedIn. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe to The Bottom Line up front wherever you get your podcasts, and stay tuned for more distilled insights from the front lines of tech and national security. So until next time, stay secure, stay mission ready.